All right, episode number 11 is in the books. This was another fun one. We able to talk about some marketing strategies for all of our frienders out there.
Yeah, I feel like we had a bunch of cool little side stories, but also gave a good amount of tidbits on marketing and how to really take advantage of things like Google and social media. And the grab bag was really good today. I felt like we had a lot of cool, just unique takes and a great little tidbit on the last one. That was home run. Really good one.
Yeah, and there was definitely more Taylor Swift in this than I expected.
Yeah.
But she was in there, and you will also learn how long it will take you to watch all 3 episodes of
Back to
the Future.
Yes, fun fact.
So hang out.
Tune in and find out, huh?
That's right. Let's get to it.
Let's go.
What do you like better, Christmas or wedding season?
Mr. Gray.
Yes. The answer would be wedding season.
Bingo.
Well, you've just inspired me to hire a DJ, so thank you.
Oh, well, good luck finding a DJ who can move and shake like this.
You are now listening to Cutmaster Cast.
Yo, everybody. Welcome back to the Cutmaster Cast, where we discuss our local events with Cutmaster Music in Albuquerque, wedding industry topics, and music. My name is Chris Romero.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tony Pacheco.
And we are DJs here in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with Cutmaster Music, one of the premier DJ companies here in Albuquerque. And thank you once again for listening. It's great to be back with you all.
Yep, happy to be back. We're in episode 11, right?
Episode number 11. We made it. We're in double digits.
We're almost, double digits. Let's get it.
That's right.
We've been doing this for almost 3 months now.
Double digits, and we've doubled our following.
Yeah, we have.
We've gone from 10 to 20.
To 20 listeners.
We have 20 listeners.
We out here, man.
Shout out to all 20 of you out there.
Yeah,
you know.
honestly, shout out you guys. We appreciate you guys tuning in every week. And yeah, it's exciting to see even just a little bit of views because we're like, all right, someone's watching out there.
Yeah, we got some people out there
watching. Listening as well. So thank you too.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and get the episode started with how we do every episode, which is talking about our local events that we've had. And we actually had some events last week.
Yes.
So I'll go ahead and start with mine.
Okay.
I had it was a little interesting, a different event for us, a corporate event. I was out at the zoo.
The zoo.
That's right. I was
local zoo, huh?
I was playing music for all the animals, for all the monkeys.
Getting those giraffes going.
And really it was background. It was a company, a corporate event. They were having, just think of it as like a picnic.
Okay.
We were in the area where they have like usually the bird show.
Yeah.
So there's it's kind of like this little small amphitheater area. And it was interesting when we got there. It was myself and a couple of photo booth attendants. Not for us. They had somebody else doing the photo booths. But we get there, and there's like no power anywhere in this place right away. So, I brought my our brand new eVerse 8 wireless battery powered speakers, right? So I was like, okay, at worst case scenario, I can go because they have Bluetooth capability. Mm-hmm. I was just going to throw on a Spotify playlist, go look up some zoo playlist for kids, right? And just let a playlist run. They would have had music. But that still didn't solve the issue for the photo booth crew that was there. Long story short, we ended up finding power that was like right outside of the amphitheater. They threw lines over the top, and then I was able to connect in. They had, I don't know, some bird specialist or whatever. She opened up the back area, and there's all these birds back there just squawking away when she opens this thing.
Yeah.
It was so funny.
Like, sorry, I just need power.
I know. So I actually got power ran to me back there, but I did run wireless to the speakers, which was pretty cool. I used
that setup was nice. I saw it on your story. It was cool.
I put it up on Instagram. These new X Vive wireless transmitters. Mm-hmm. So it was great. It worked out pretty nicely. I was still able to, use my laptop and this beautifully curated list for the zoo.
What was the best one?
The best song?
The Lion Sleeps Tonight.
You know what? It might have been let me play it. It might have been my custom mix. All right. Let me pull this up real quick here.
Okay. How long did you play for?
3 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so but it was cool. I mean, and I was just basically background music.
Yeah.
So
That's honestly easier.
it
'Cause
was
you're just spinning.
it was pretty easy. So I a custom mix I had made. Yeah, it was super cool. But anyways, yeah, so I a lot of fun stuff like
That's
that.
the best though, when they get mad at you or they look at you and they're like, "Come on," and then boom, it hits it, and they're like, "Oh!"
It's like, buddy, pick up your 15-year-old kid. You're in the zoo. Come
Yeah.
on, put him out there.
exactly.
You know, yeah, all kinds of
Nice.
stuff. The playlist: Crocodile Rock, Dance Monkey, Eye of the Tiger, The Lion Sleeps Tonight, Baby Shark, of course, Hakuna Matata, the Fox, dude. Yeah,
Did you play What Does the Fox Say?
yeah, heck yeah. I played What Does the Fox Say? Atomic Dog.
Nice. There you go. That's
Yeah.
a good one.
Surfing Bird. You remember that one?
I don't.
Okay, bye-bye, bye-bye. Song reminds me of Family Guy.
Yep.
And then just a bunch of like random stuff. A Horse with No Name.
Okay.
By America. Yeah, it was fun. It was good. Fireflies.
Nice.
So
there you go.
yeah, so that was my event.
Sounds
I spent 3 hours at the zoo with a bunch of kids playing that stuff,
Nice.
and now I have a new playlist.
Yeah, there you go. Right, you got a zoo vibes playlist.
Zoo vibes. All right, so tell us about yours.
So mine was a wedding at Bishop's Lodge in Santa Fe, and it was a home run, man. We had, I loved about it because the last one I had there, we got rained on. We had to move venues. There was a lot of things at play. So for us, it was very stressful. So to come back to Bishop's Lodge and just load in through the back, nice. We're just doing the reception. It was nothing crazy. It was so fun. So just like energizing to get back into the wedding season and be like really excited about just what this next year is going to look like, you know.
I'm not gonna lie, your post made me a little bit jelly.
They were
I
fun.
can't wait to get back here in the wedding scene. Like it started getting me pumped.
Yeah,
You know,
and it was exciting. It was nice too because earlier on when they made when we had all our meetings and stuff, they were very low key, super easy to work with. They just wanted to have fun. No real grand intro, just a couple speeches and very light on the formalities. When we showed up day of, it was funny because they didn't want a grand intro and they were like, yeah, we'll just walk in with the guitarist and we'll just have you introduce us, not really that formally. So I was like, okay, great. And I was actually way more nervous for that because it wasn't my traditional grand intro.
Right.
So I was having to introduce them and then recognize the parents, both parents from both sides, and then recognize the bride and groom. And so it was like unique because like all the drive up to Santa Fe, I was like, okay, James's parents are what were they? I'm already blanking on their names. It was Sheila and Dennis. Yes, right. And then Christina's parents' names were Barbara and Frank. Right. And I was just thinking about that all day because normally for a grand intro, you go out, you do your spiel, and then now, ladies and gentlemen, if you turn your attention to this doorway right there, it's time to bring in our wedding party. All of their eyes go off you, so I can pull out my list of names, and so it just looks. I'm a big fan of like going out there and having like being there on my mic, and then sneaking away, and then saying the names over a piece of paper. So personally, I'm not having to like mentally remember all those names.
Right.
But then when I had the parents, I had to go up there and just do it. So I was like, okay, I got to remember these names, and then they were like, you know what? Can we do a grand intro with just us two? And I was like, okay.
And then you were like,
All right. I was nervous, so it happened, and I was like, yeah, you got it, no problem. And then I was like, okay, that's going to be easier. The intro will be easier. But, what do I play? We didn't discuss, you know what I mean? So I played We Found Love, Calvin Harris. Good,
oh yeah.
good fail safe, right?
There you
And
go.
so it worked out really, really good. The crowd was so fun. I like crowds that are like responsive to all types of genres throughout the entire night. Yes, I love to play like older tunes in the earlier part of the evening, and then as you go to the newer stuff. But when you're able to still sprinkle in those oldies and that everybody's being super responsive to it, it was a fun wedding. You had the alternative rock hits in there, a bunch of hip hop, and just a lot of so much fun.
That was a good one.
Yeah, once we finished, I was just like, boom, home run, let's go. You know, it was very, very good. And then the clients were super satisfied at the end of it, right? They were like, we know why you're good at what you do because you just help create these really amazing moments, and it's always so satisfying.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who are you working with out there?
I was working with Taylor. She was on our last episode.
Taylor. So I'm sure, kudos to her.
Oh, she's a rock
also
star. Yeah, she is a
making
rock star. She really helped make everything super smooth. When there's a planner involved, I don't have to really think about a lot of the organizational aspects of it. So it's nice to just be able to default to a planner. But Taylor was on point with everything.
Awesome. Who was a photographer? Anybody local?
No, her name was Emily something, but she's based out of San Diego or California or whatever. But she was amazing too. She actually reached out to me and said, "Do you want me to take any shots for you?" And I was like,
"Hey,
yeah, take notes, photographers.
Take notes. Hey, this is a topic for a whole nother episode, but I love it because I know all you photographers go out there and you put your shots and usually some like preview pics and stuff like that, and then you tag everybody in it. I love it when we are tagged in the party pics.
Yeah.
Like, then that's something that I can share that's like relevant to us, and I know your day's not focused on us, but we love sharing your stuff out there. We like, promoting our frienders. It just makes it a lot easier, I think, for us on the party end of things to have some party pics.
Yeah, no, it was just really nice and like refreshing for her. Like it was like a month or so ago, and she reached out and was like, "I'm gonna be the photographer. Is there anything you're looking for specifically for shots?" And I was like, honestly, just a pop in dance floor. And if you happen to see a cool me on the mic, I could use a new headshot, right? I could use a new profile.
Heck yeah.
And so,
score.
I hope she got the photos. I'm not expecting anything, but the fact that she asked me makes me hopeful that, hey, maybe she'll send me one.
Totally.
And I'm going to shout her out and be grateful for it. So
awesome. Nice.
Yeah. Good.
So good weekend for us.
Yeah.
The good weekend of events, some different stuff, and got us kick started here with that was your first wedding, I know, of the year.
First wedding of the year. So I was having dreams about it. I'm not kidding. All last week I was like, wow, I was just getting excited. More not anxious or nervous, but more of like, let's go, So
nice. All right. Nice. Good job.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to move into our topic of the week, which this week I want to discuss marketing strategies for wedding vendors. Okay, so for those of you out there that are looking to do a little business speak, we're going to touch into that bucket today. And I want to talk about, best practices for promoting your business, some things that we do and utilize, from optimizing your website to leveraging, social media platforms. So we're going to jump into that here.
Mm-hmm.
And the first thing I want to talk about, so I'm going to talk about 3 different best practices for promoting your business. And number 1,
let's hear it. What could it be?
Is to refresh your website and get up to date. And you might be asking yourself, well, Chris, what makes you an expert on this? And I don't know if I consider myself an expert, but I'm pretty good with this stuff because I actually, in one of my former 9 lives, I used to be a website developer. I don't know if many of you know that out there, but I was in web development, specifically in WordPress development, and I used to also take care of AdWords platforms for a few different businesses and companies in town.
Nice.
I'm not as up to date on that, and that is an area, especially when you get into SEO, that you should be up to date on because it is a constantly changing just field. But I do keep up with a lot of the trends with website development and refreshing your website, you guys. So I personally do it once a year for us at Cutmaster. There's just different trends from number 1, the look. Mm-hmm. I feel like I go and look at a lot of the industry websites. I feel like photographers get it and more from an aesthetic appeal, right?
Yeah.
So I feel like photographers probably do the best job out of any of the wedding vendors, but DJs are terrible. I look at a lot of the websites here, or some of them, I should say, just locally, and it's not just a local problem. This is just across the board.
Yeah.
You go and look at a lot of DJ websites, and they look like they've been built straight out of geosites. I'm dating myself there from like 1997.
Yeah, I don't know what a geosite is.
Yeah, I know, because they were made. These were websites, the most basic websites.
Yeah,
the very first websites, and you had to. You built them on what it was called geosites.
Kind of like Wix.
No? It was like America Online's platform that you could use for them.
Okay.
But
Online. Wow.
Yeah.
I know it as AOL, but I'm like, yeah, that's it.
Yep. Seriously, that's what. And it was kind of like the idea with Wix, where it's all on one platform. Mm-hmm. But just so basic, right?
Yeah.
And using like clip art. You probably don't know what that is
I
either.
know what clip art is. I had a MySpace. We talked about it.
That's exactly. So, and then one of the things that I just want to touch on, because I could talk about websites for days, but one quick thing that I do want to talk about is, keeping your websites quick and simple. So not being too wordy. I look at a lot of websites and I just see paragraphs upon paragraphs of stuff and words and content, and nobody is reading.
Yeah.
We
we were just auditing somebody's website the other day. Remember that when we were going through, and we were like, "See, how can we make ours look like that?" But also, this is too much. What can we take and not use?
And you've got to have, and it used to be, a lot of people would try to trick websites by putting in all this content and words for SEO, right? Because Google is reading, through your site and making rankings and doing stuff based upon that. But Google's gotten a lot smarter over the years. And, bullet points, I feel like, are enough.
Yeah.
And I like great pictures. So professional pictures. I think a lot of the pictures that people, especially DJs, once again, we're very much do-it-yourselfers. And so we like to use our own pictures from our events, and that stuff is all great and fine and dandy. It's better if you're using one of the newer phones. If you want to take your own pictures, I think you can get away with it. But just like you said, if we can get some professional pictures, up and on your website, it just makes it look a lot nicer.
It really does just establish credibility. You don't have to have a massive, immaculate website that has all these different things, keeps them on there forever. You want them to be able to retain the information in a nice, clean, and fast and functional way. I feel like nowadays on socials and just overall internet, we are fast-paced. We're not digging through websites like I was when I was in middle school.
Right now, like your generation is a generation of scrolling.
Yeah,
and we want to see it fast, right?
Yeah,
So,
that's exactly it, is that we are consuming a lot of our media through the scroll versus just like going through a website. And so when you find yourself on the same kind of page, just scrolling, and then you're not finding anything you want, it's going to feel like a waste of time. And
in all honesty, I've grown. We don't do this on our website, and I think it's kind of hard. It depends on your business, but I love one-pagers, where it's a one-page website. The whole website, all the information's on one page, and you just have these different areas to scroll. I've tried to implement that, like with a new program that I just started that coincides with my real estate business, where I made that program. It's called the House Party program.
Nice.
And I've made it more like a one-pager, where everything is just on that page, and you're not having to click on all kinds of different links or menu items.
Well, it gets frustrating when you're having to dig through, find these links. You're like, I just want an answer, and you're having to find it all these different ways. So yeah, making it very easy. One thing I've noticed now, when I tried to go a little bit more independent, build my own website, I was able to do it through a program like Wix, or it's pretty easy now.
Honestly, a lot of the programs now, they're great. I'm still using WordPress and utilizing WordPress.
Well, you know you're good at it, right?
Like I know it inside and out, and I can do things very quickly on there. But a lot of those now, Wix.
But like if you have no experience and you're very intimidated, you're like, a website, I don't know what the heck to do, right?
And it's a beast.
Yeah, it is.
A website is like a house; it's never finished. You're constantly updating it. You're trying to keep it up to date. And like I said, I switch mine out, and I use a theme, but I know how to skin it and customize it, fairly quickly. And I like to change it out and keep it fresh yearly.
I feel like it helps to elevate our experience from all the ends, right? It doesn't make it seem like it's repetitive or like stagnant in any way. It just stays fresh.
Right. And I'm going to give you guys out there, to kind of wrap up this first one for us, I'm going to give you a little Cutmaster hack for those of you that are looking for a direction to take with content on your website. I utilize what's called story branding. And if you go and look up story branding, and actually there's a book, it's on Amazon, and I believe I think it's called Story Branding. I'm going to try to look it up real quick.
But it's basically like making a visual. Kind of.
Well, and what it's like doing is
storyboarding for movies.
You want to tell your story, right?
Okay.
Building a story brand is what it's called.
Okay.
For those of you out there, go check out that book, and it gives you just a great layout on how to approach, telling your story through your marketing. And every story has a hero. Yep. guess who the hero should be in our industry?
It's either the couple or the DJ, right?
So you
know.
hit it. It's not the. I think a lot of people would think I should be the hero,
Right? That's
Right.
That's what I was thinking. That
I
just
should be
feels
there.
like the right answer.
but no, you want to make your couple needs to be the hero
yes.
of the
Okay.
story.
Mhm.
I don't want to get too deep into this, but
That makes so much sense, though.
right?
Because then they can envision themselves as the hero for your story. You know what I mean?
And it's really of their story
Yes,
as well, right?
exactly. Like you are just a character in their story, and they are the heroes, right? But we
Right.
are a key role, right?
Well, and I think I'm trying to remember now. They use like is it Star Wars with Obi-Wan Kenobi
Okay.
and Luke,
Sure.
and so who's the hero?
I guess Luke.
It's Luke,
Yeah.
but Obi-Wan Kenobi is like the mentor, right?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
guides him and shows him the way.
Yeah,
That's kind of what we are.
I got you.
You
That
know,
character and that
right.
story to help guide the day, right? I mean, we always say that we're that people who help guide the thing and go through that story. But yeah, like even just this past weekend, I can really think about like I was a part of their story. I was a crucial part in that moment, right? But like, yeah, you really are a character in their hero and heroineness,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it.
No, and I hope I got that right. You Star Wars fans out there, don't come at me.
I got you. You got it right.
Don't come at me because
I don't-
I'm not a big Star Wars guy.
I redid the stew, but I had a Darth Vader and a R2D2 here a couple episodes back. But you had it right, and that's exactly it, right? Like, yes, Obi-Wan does die in episode 4, and Yoda kind of takes on that role. But that's exactly it, where like you think one person's the hero, but it's actually about this other person who's teaching that person, right? In that story.
Exactly. So, yeah, go check out Story Branding for those of you that are looking for something, maybe a way to freshen up your company branding.
I feel like you can apply that to so many different avenues, right? So
Absolutely.
many different vendors, whether it's floral, photography, cake, right? All those.
Story branding is definitely not made for DJs. I'll tell you that. I mean, it wasn't like geared toward us, but
You
it's
have to look at it in a way.
yeah. No,
because
I mean
see you.
it's just any company you can utilize and implement this, and I feel like
cool.
it works for us.
I
So.
like that.
Number 2, and this is something that I'm a little bit more familiar with, and that is update your Google business profile. And this used to be called Google My Business. They keep changing it up. Google likes to change things up frequently, and it kind of gets a little confusing, but it's the same thing. Your Google business profile. And the reason I say we're a little bit more familiar with this is because I've been invited twice to go out to the Google campus. I did one stint out there in San Jose in California, and then just recently, what was it, last year or 2 years
I
ago?
thought it was last year. They sent you to.
Yeah, last year I went to Washington,
Yeah.
D.C.
Nice.
And for this small business mixer, we were chosen to represent New Mexico. I won't get too deep into that, but it was a great opportunity. And one of the things that they really harped on was, really freshening up, making sure your Google business profile is completely filled out, up to date. And I'm of the, philosophy of whatever Google says to do it. They're the biggest search engine.
Yep.
If you want to be found and you want to get leads and you want people to know about your business, do what Google says. And this is what they said to do. And this is really just a hidden gem that a lot of people are not doing. And they don't think about this because we're so consumed with other avenues, which we're going to talk about, social media. But the Google business profile, and this is the area, like if you go in and you Google Cutmaster Music specifically, all right, or any local business by name, you're going to see, and I'm just going to do this while, I'm on here. So you Google Cutmaster Music, and on the right-hand side, you have this whole entire, it's about a third of the page of real estate that is dedicated to Cutmaster Music. And this is our Google business profile here. And you get everything from the reviews to requesting a quote, the website, directions to find our office. And then as you scroll down, there's questions in it. There's a Q&A section. You can go and put in common questions for your business that are asked, that can be answered right there. You see all of our reviews. And then you have this section. This is the hidden, the low-lying fruit here that people can go and get right away. And it just puts you a huge step above your competition because I guarantee you most people aren't doing that. And this is the add an update or creating posts. All right. And there's this little section here where you can go and create posts, and you can see our last one was just done on March 19th. And I talked about some corporate events, and you can put pictures and just tell people about you and keep it updated. And Google recognizes you as being in tune,
Active.
in flow,
Yeah.
you're active, things are fresh. And that's just, once again, an area
I
that
feel like they reward you for that too, because you're
Absolutely.
feeding it. So they're like, okay, he's actively on it, or the company is that. So we should put theirs first.
that's exactly it.
Mhm.
So there's a little, again, a Cutmaster Music hack. If you are not doing this and you're not being current with your Google business profile posting, go do it right now.
Optimize that profile, guys, because I feel like, yes, it really does. Like it takes up a good chunk of the space. And whenever you're Googling a business, for it to come up right there, it again just establishes credibility. It really gives you that little upper hand to where when they look up somebody else who maybe doesn't have a business profile and yours is there, you're like, oh, okay, these guys are clearly more in tune or just on point with what they're doing. So
Right. All right, so that's number 2. Number 3, and this is the one I think most people are probably most familiar with, and that's getting social. All right, so I'm going to let Tony take over this portion of of our marketing strategies and talk about the social media platforms that we use and why it's so important.
yeah, we've talked about it a little bit in the past of taking advantage of social media and why it's so valuable to have a good social media presence on all these different platforms. But what I think is really important in terms of like marketing is it allows you to showcase yourself in ways that like you really can align with your brand, with your color, like how you want it to look, right? I feel like when we think about what does Cutmaster represent, we think about fun, high energy, or at least my specific one is high energy. But we think about just guests having a good time. And so when I'm creating my content, I try to wrap my head around that and try to think about who's watching this, how are they consuming it, because we want them to ultimately think like, oh, I want that at my event, or I want a piece of that. So I think just making sure you have nice, clean content, but also like being able to stay in tune with like trends. I feel like TikTok has a good job at like sounds. Like right now,
Yeah.
there's one that's going around. You sure about that? And I was thinking about like just making something like, oh, we're gonna dance until 12. You sure about that, right? And like making those little things that are relevant to your niche, but like in tune with everyone, right? So I think that's a good way to stay in tune with all of it. But yes, I think being able to reach out and using keywords in your posts to help clients find you, similar to the SEO on Google. We do that on TikTok where we're putting best wedding DJ Albuquerque, right? I'm just putting a couple key phrases. So when they look it up, it comes up right away. I'm also using that in the captions so that there's just, it's all embedded into the video. And one thing I'm also learning is you're trying to make sure to keep their attention for not the entire time, but more so in a consistency kind of way, where you don't want them to watch a 2-minute video, but you want them to watch all 4 of your 30-second videos.
Right.
Because then they're, even if that happens every 2 weeks or so, you're staying relevant in their head. And so when they think of whatever service you're bringing of, you come up first.
Well, and it hits the algorithm, right?
Yes.
Where they're watching your stuff. The algorithm knows it, so they're going to show you more of that stuff.
Yeah.
And especially if you can keep them on, for the length of your videos.
Yeah. So I think just making sure you are taking advantage of posting something, being consistent. We have found an amazing value in YouTube Shorts. I keep talking about it, but I just posted a video yesterday and we got 1,000 views.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? Like I was just like, well, I've already put this on Instagram. I've already put it on TikTok. I forgot about YouTube Shorts. This is I should put it there. So I put it there and it's got 1.1 and I'm getting comments. Oh, great tip, right? And it's just from random people or whatever. But I saw that you can take clips from your long form content on YouTube and cut it into a short, put it onto Shorts, and people are watching those and then going to the actual long form content and consuming the whole thing.
And you guys, so I think a lot of us, I used to get caught up in this where you feel like I need to, get a video from this past weekend. If you've got older content, this is what I've been doing. I've been repurposing, right?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
go back and grab old footage and use it in a new, fresh way, like with the new soundbite.
Yeah.
You know, that's trending right now. So I've been doing that just on my personal page with just other stuff, you know, for those of you out there that aren't following me, at Cutmaster Chris. If you like DJ real estate stuff and dogs that walk on walls.
Dogs on walls.
So, and the reason I mention her, my dog Rousey, is because I've just been taking old footage. So my dog, you guys, I get the most views from my dog. Literally, she jumps up on this 7-foot wall every day and walks across it. She thinks she's a cat. I don't know. Whatever. And it's the funniest thing ever. So, but my dog walking on the wall gets the most views out of
like
anything.
20K.
I get crazy views with this dog. So I go and repurpose like all the old footage, right?
Smart.
Like I started doing like on CapCut, which is one of the apps that Tony has mentioned in the past. If you're not using it, I'd get on it. What I like about CapCut is it notifies me of different trends that people are using.
Yes.
Currently.
I agree.
So I started using one of them, which was like stupid Tom and Jerry. Right.
They're
And I was
hilarious,
repurposing
honestly.
it, and I started putting my dog where Tom and Jerry's watching my dog, and I'm getting crazy views on that stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It just goes to show you that, you can repurpose content and you don't have to worry about, they've already seen this, right? I think it's important to kind of, I struggle with putting the same content on different platforms, but I'm also trying to get over that and understanding that different people are on different platforms. So somebody who's on Instagram isn't on Facebook, and so they don't see the same content. So I think just making sure you're staying consistent with it to keep people, how do I say it? To help them, remind them of who you are and what you do, because it's just, because in the recall of it all, DJ, I've been seeing him on my socials all the time, you know, and it's just kind of, the way I think about it too, somebody explained it to me is, the Burger King ad. How many times have you heard Whopper, 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 right? And it's just the same thing, but it's engraving it into their head.
I think that's my 5-year-old Evan's favorite song. BK. Have it your, oh my gosh. Now I'm not going to get that song.
Oh, no.
No.
That's the idea with advertising and marketing, right? Is you are just, in a lesser way of saying it, but ramming it down their throats so that when they do think of when I need it, yes, you know, like, I see Sprites ads all the time. I'm thirsty. I should get a Sprite, right?
You're top of mind, right?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, cool. So those are our three best practices for promoting your business. I hope that you guys got some nuggets out of that and have some action items maybe for your business. And for those of you that already knew all that stuff, well, you probably know some other stuff, and we need to have you on the podcast. So
hit us up. Let us know. If we missed anything, please let us know.
And
we want you guys on here.
We're gonna do more of that stuff because there's a lot more. I could deep dive into websites for forever, the Google stuff, you know, and we can talk about social. And so I think just for the sake of time, some quick hitters like that are pretty useful.
Yeah, that works. I like it.
Cool. All right, I think it is time for us to get into the grab bag section.
Ooh, ready. You already know what it is.
You know it. We're going to bring it.
Grab bag tunes.
Grab bag. Yeah. All right.
Love it.
That was like a remix.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was all right. Okay, so I've got a few things for us here. I've got a couple that have come off of some groups on Facebook, and I got a couple of ticker talkers.
Nice.
All right, so the first one, this one's interesting. These are good ones. Says small rant, and this comes off of a group for those of you that, you know, I like to go into other groups outside of the DJ area. This one's called Completely Bridal, Wedding Planning Tips, Tricks, and To-Dos, and this is on Facebook for those of you industry peeps that want to go check it out. This one says, small rant. It's a little disheartening when you see your venue, photographer, and makeup artists not post anything about your wedding, but post about all the weddings they work with before and after. I've realized the only difference between us and the people they post is that we are fat. Yeah. I was kind, and it says, I was kind and worked well with the vendors we chose. This is something so small that it shouldn't affect me as it has. I just needed to say it out loud somewhere, and I know you guys can get sometimes the unnecessary stress emotions from this experience. Sorry to vent to everyone.
That's tough.
This is tough.
I mean,
know,
I never even thought about that. I just like to
think
the way you should. I feel like you're hurting yourself in a way where, like, I don't know, you want people to see all rounds, all walks of life, right?
Right.
So maybe if they see only one kind of person, they're thinking, oh, well, maybe I don't align with that person, right? Or like maybe they only shoot weddings for that type of person, right? Whereas like we'll put whoever we did a wedding with, as long as it's okay with them, right? But we'll post it and it's great, right? I feel like a bride could see that and see herself in that if she's able to see somebody who she can relate to and all of that.
It's weird, like
She might just be overthinking it.
and maybe, and it's tough because in all honesty, it's not something I've ever
Never even thought about it.
consciously thought about,
I
right?
just think my bride is having fun. I need to film that.
Right.
You know what I
yeah. And basically we put out footage, I think, of almost, if not every event that we do, like in some way, shape, or form.
I'm trying
Yeah,
to keep consistent.
Right. Like I just want to show
care.
what I'm doing. Like, hey, this is what we're doing tonight, right?
Exactly.
And and I've never thought about, just different, like you said, all walks of life. We do all kinds of events.
You really do.
Big, tall, small, LGBTQ.
We really are just about celebrating love. I feel like we really
Totally.
want to help you guys, or couples, I should say, just celebrate and have fun, and so we don't care.
But it did. So the reason I mentioned this post is it did make me think. For those of us in the industry, to be aware, because our couples are aware.
They're aware.
They're aware.
thinking
They're
about it.
looking at what you're posting. They're looking at what you align with and what your brand. This is your branding, right? So it's something for us, I think, as business owners and in the industry to just be aware of. They are watching. They're watching every little thing about you. So
it's important to be mindful of those things, just because you don't really think about it. I feel like we're always thinking about the next customer or future clients, and you don't realize that either clients who you have right now or have worked with you in the past, they may want it.
Or sometimes you just got to look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you know what? She's right.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have any of these type of people,
not as inclusive
of
as
couples,
it could be, right?
Yeah, I'm not being as inclusive as I think I am.
Yeah, right. You may not even think about it.
Because you know what? Maybe I am like I am being inclusive, like in my, just taking on any couple, whatever. But maybe I'm not. Why am I not posting their weddings?
Yeah.
Or the
Sure.
And so it just, I think you have to sometimes look at yourself in the mirror and and then make changes.
Definitely. Yeah. It's a good reminder that brides are watching all the time.
Yep. I agree.
That's a good one.
Okay, number 2, let's do a TikTok on this one.
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
Wedding vendors, listen up. Here's what I learned about marketing while planning my wedding. Part 1. Personal branding is what sets you apart. I believe personal branding is important in any industry, but especially in the wedding industry. This is a very personal business. I mean, you're there to support a couple with the greatest day of their lives. All of our vendors were extremely talented, but we didn't just pick them purely based on talent. In fact, I specifically turned down vendors because they didn't vibe with us. This is why it's so important to share more about you. And if you need help with that, make sure you're following along. Stay tuned for part 2.
Nice.
Wedding vendors, listen up.
Pause. Okay. So I like that one because our industry is very personal, right?
Yes.
We were just talking about this a little bit earlier that, in all honesty, like at Cutmaster Music, I think our couples, they're booking Tony, they're booking you for you and who you are and what your personality is, not for, I mean, we both come with the same gear, right? The same lights, the same kind of speakers, but I would almost guarantee everybody thinks the experience with you is different than it is with me.
Yeah.
And just that, not that one's better than the other. It's just different.
Different styles.
Because my
nice
personality is who I am,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And you are who you are. And that's what I like about what we're trying to build here. And Victoria, too, with us,
same.
right?
Yep.
Just we're all different, and we are not trying to make cookie cutter clone DJs here.
That's nice because, you're not forcing me to be something I don't want to be,
Right.
and I can just really shine on my own terms. But it's like, it's nice because I get to do it my way, I guess you would say, so it's cool.
Well, and it's I feel like you should be freed up to do that. And what's great about it is that you get the couples that align with you.
Yes.
And I get the couples that align with me instead of trying to make every couple put every couple into this like cookie cutter.
Yeah, just into this box that would,
Right.
oh, that's our ideal client or whatever. It's like, yes, you kind of have an ideal client, but also too, like, you want to make sure you're connecting with them, and that's what you mean by ideal. Is
That's what
having-
she said there, right?
Yeah.
She vibed with all of her vendors,
That's
and
true.
and I think that's really important.
No, but yeah, I think what she's saying though too, in your marketing, you have to kind of convey who you are.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that I'm a high energy DJ when you see my content.
And so this is the one thing. Like I allow access to even my personal profile.
Yeah.
Because I want people to see that.
Definitely.
You know, if you have a thing about against dogs on walls, I'm probably not the right guy for you.
Right.
But if you love that kind of stuff, you like
Yeah.
someone that's a family guy, and I put a lot of content out there, just of different stuff, and that's it. It really does help me to align with the people that are like me and that like this, and if you don't like it, perfectly fine,
Yeah, that's what I've also found that was really nice and satisfying. Like a couple years back, I would take any and every wedding I could, and now I felt more confident in just being like, you know what, like I am not your guy. There is somebody out there who will give you exactly what you want, and I'm not going to be that person. But no, we're not mad about it. We're not sad about it. It's just it's nice being able to understand you don't have to choose every single couple that comes your way.
Something I learned very early on, same thing as you. It's like, and I think anybody that's breaking into any business, especially entrepreneur, you're taking everything that you can get, right? You feel like the phone's never going to ring again. I have to take this. I have to do it. Yeah. And then you get one that you don't vibe with, and you realize very quickly, I don't want to give this person my best because I can't stand them. So I'm not working to give. I just want to get through this event and be done with it.
Yep.
They don't like me for whatever reasons. We're not meshing. We're not gelling well together. It's just a bad experience all the way around, right? Like nobody wants that.
It's tough because yes, you're gonna still deliver, but you have the potential of maybe not getting a great review or trying to do something when it's like you're just doing you, but it wasn't what they wanted, and so that's where it gets tricky.
Yeah, or you try to be something that you're not.
Yes.
And you just don't do a good job at that either, right? I can't be It's so much easier to be me. And just be me, than trying to be something that I'm not. Like, I'm not gonna go to events and try to be okay. They really want Tony. I'm gonna try to be Tony, and I'm gonna just fist pump all night long at 1,000%. When in all honesty, I'm trying to be you, but you don't do that either, right?
No.
And so, but in my mind, maybe that's what I'm thinking. Like, this is Tony, just all night long.
But see, and that's the idea about my brand is you really get that. You feel like I'm not. I definitely am having fun, but I'm not fist pumping the entire time like a jackrabbit.
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
And that's what somebody I think that doesn't know, but I got to try to be that.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I'm the Energizer Tony Bunny.
Nuts. It's just I feel the music, man. That's all it is.
Yeah, no. So you're the only you, man.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to another one. I've got another one here from the bridal group, and it says, "As a vendor and a bride, I'm going to say this gently but firmly."
All right. I'm nervous.
It says, "You have to feed your vendors. Photographers, DJs, anyone that stays, we don't work well for 6+ hours on an empty stomach. The alternative is we leave for an hour on a break and feed ourselves, and you lose time. This is why it's included in our contracts, because people either don't know or don't want to. Please feed us. We want to be our best for y'all."
That's fair. I'm sure you agree with them.
Well, I kind of agree. Okay.
It feels very much like you must.
Right. So this person, they're basically saying you have to feed us.
Did they say what they do?
They didn't say. It's just an anonymous
It's all good.
type of post.
Okay.
So this is where I would go with it. As a vendor, so I agree that yes, we definitely work better with food in our stomach, right?
True.
Like, I mean, anybody does.
Yep.
And we are there, and I know photographers are there the longest. They're there from the morning all the way to the very end of the night, and you got to eat at some point. So for us as DJs, I just ask. I mean, and really, it's an easy question during the final event review. Are we going to be fed that night? Are we included in the meal? And I don't ever expect it, and I tell them that I'm not expecting it. I just need to know. So that way I can let my assistant know that I know, okay, I need to bring some snacks or I need to bring a little something to make sure I've got food in my stomach at some point in time. And most of the time, I would say like 8, 9 times out of 10, we are being fed. And that's why I ask. I know that this across different markets is a lot different. I know friends back east that they don't eat at all, even if they are offered, and they're not typically offered very much. It's different. Like there's cultural things that go into play with all of this. So I just always ask and just, and if they say we don't have you included in the meal, no sweat. Now I know, and I can just let my crew know.
Exactly.
And it's, not a big deal.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, for me, I feel like I'm more on the East Coast vibe, but I get it. And I feel like you give me a good perspective on the culture of it here in New Mexico. It really is more of a communal thing.
Right.
And I feel like that's where it comes from a lot. Just wanting to make sure you are fed. Because I do get that. Though it's always, did you eat? You good?
They all the time, right?
Yeah.
Or they'll tell us, hey, we've included you in the meal. I get like emails now that ask, hey, let us know what you want. Choose from filet mignon, chicken, and
I'm not going to tell them no.
Steak, and I'm like, heck yeah, all right,
exactly. Yeah.
So not expected, but always
appreciated. That's
appreciated, totally. And I would say just ask the question, just make sure.
Yeah, don't be afraid to ask. I would say, if you're getting upset about not being fed, well, that might be on you because you didn't ask. Like you're setting that expectation for yourself that they should be feeding me when it's really you should make sure you're fed, whether it's from them or from yourself.
Yeah, and I know, I'm not sure, you photographers out there can probably chime in. I know that I've seen this across the boards. Maybe, I don't know if this is local or not, but I know elsewhere where they're actually including it in their contracts that they must be fed.
I've heard a lot of it from photographers specifically.
So,
I get that, though.
Photographers I know if it were me personally, I'd be feeding all of my vendors. I just, I want them to be at their best.
Yeah, exactly.
For my event, but to each their own, I guess. So just find out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, last one, going to be a ticker talker. Let's go.
What up, wedding pros? Here's a quick hack for some bonus visibility on Google. Review other wedding venues and suppliers on Google for stupid crazy visibility and views. Over 11,000 views on our photos, and we've been reviewing wedding venues in the area that we performed at. It makes so much sense. What do couples do before they book their wedding venue? Mm-hmm. They look at reviews on Google, and reviews from other suppliers are just as important from those clients and couples that have got married there. This is an amazing way to get kudos and brownie points with the venue as well by leaving a killer review, but also being one of the first suppliers that your ideal couples will be coming across. If you want more tips for growing your wedding business, grab our free guide now,
I think that one is gold.
That's a banger. Holy cow, that one's good. That but that one's... That is amazing. I'm telling you, you need to review your other frienders. Let them know you've worked with them and they were awesome at what they do. Because yes, you get some brownie points, of course, but then also too, you're feeding that algorithm. It's putting you up higher and higher. Right. I just asked Taylor. I've never worked with Taylor Fail before, but because of that, I didn't feel appropriate reviewing her. But then I asked her, where do you value the most reviews? Where do you want me to review you? And she was like, the Wedding Collective and Google, right? And so I was like, okay, I got you. But that's nice. That's money.
But this one with the venues, because that's typically the first place that people start looking at.
First place they book, yes.
Yeah, so normally. Definitely. So I agree. Give your frienders reviews, and we're going to get better at doing that because I know it's not something, and I get it, like it's not something you even really think about, like as a vendor.
Yeah. I like to do it for photographers and planners a lot because I work with them.
Yeah, I've done it in the past.
I've never done a venue, so I need to get on that.
But that's what we got.
Get one in.
Bishops. We've got an action item to do for us here at Cutmaster. So yeah, go. Review these vendors and venues, and hopefully watch yourself climb up the algorithms here.
The venue is smart because I didn't think about that, but it is very true. I would say 9 times out of 10, your venue is the first vendor you're picking or whatever, right? Like that's the first big thing you're buying as a couple. So, yes.
All right, and that's gonna do it for the grab bag today. That was a good session.
Yeah, those were good. I liked it. I liked all of those.
Ooh. All right. So we're going to move right along into the next section.
Yeah. My baby.
We're going back to the music. Great Scott.
Love it.
that's about all I got for today, I think.
It's solid. No, that's good. I like all those. Those are really good ones.
What I'm currently jamming to. I got Taylor Swift on repeat.
Yeah. I was like I was just looking through, what do I listen? I listen to a lot of house music, I've learned.
So I started listening to a little bit more Tay-Tay because I got a friend that's in my bowling league, Brianna, who I'm sure she does not listen to this podcast, but she's a huge Taylor Swift fan. So she went to the concert in Phoenix.
Yeah, she was just there.
She had crazy tickets, like five rows from the stage. Yeah. Like it was
cool.
All of her footage that she grabbed from it was like really cool. But it was really interesting. She had a take on it. She wasn't sure how much she liked being there. Like, I don't think it sounded like that she would get those tickets again because the production element of it, there was so many visuals that she couldn't see because she was so close, and like the angles, from being at ground level.
Yes.
Where that you could see them better from being above.
Yeah. I have a buddy who really enjoys like just going to Omnia, right? He loves the second level and like looking
I'm your buddy.
Yeah.
No,
I feel like now I've moved past that. And when I was younger, I wanted to be in the crowd. I wanted to be in it, experience it, take it all in. And he was always about like, nah, bro, let's go to the second level. Let's like watch it. Let's see it happen.
I've been there at Omnia. I've done the bottle service up on the top level, and it's just it's completely different. But yeah, you're right. Like I'm in a different. When I was younger too, I was at the shows in the mosh pit.
Yeah.
And now I like to watch from above, have a nice drink,
get the mezzanine seats, and watch the kids go.
That's right. Watch the kids go crazy.
I'll still get in it, but
Omnia, my favorite nightclub ever.
I feel like
we need to have a nightclub episode.
Yeah,
we just talk about our club experiences.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, that are
a couple
okay for the air.
Yeah, they're all pretty appropriate. Crazy ones.
Oh my gosh,
Vegas is a wild town. I'll say that.
Some of the craziest nights I've had in Vegas have been at Omnia with just ridiculous amounts of money involved. Not from me. I was able to tag along.
There you go.
Oh my god,
best way.
Oh,
I want to see that new Madison Square Garden Sphere. Have you seen that?
Yes,
nuts.
The Sphere looks amazing.
It's like I don't know.
It's gonna fit. What do they say? Like,
I don't even know.
16,000 people or something like that in there. I don't know. It's gigantic.
But it's a massive screen around it, and it's supposed to make whatever. I don't know.
It's gonna be
it's like the biggest LED screen.
Isn't U2 like one of the
openers?
I thought maybe. I think so. But no, we got to check that out. Cutmaster Music Field Trip.
Yep, we got it just for research.
All right. Well, I think we're going to put a bow on this episode for this week.
Yeah. Solid.
Yeah, I think it was pretty good. Hope you guys got some takeaways from it and maybe have some new music and vibes to listen to.
Yep.
And I think that's going to do it. See you next week.
See you all next week, y'all. Appreciate you. Later.
Thanks for checking out the Cutmaster Cast podcast. Make sure you stay tuned with all things related at www.cutmastermusic.com.